I know you've told the story before, the Cary Grant story.
I did that on the last show.
Who cares? Tell the Cary Grant story.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but you know it. All right, folks, when I left the Sid Caesar show, well, not actually left, I was kind of fired, but sort of fired, anyway. I came out to Hollywood to write a movie. I was at Universal Studios, working with a guy called Marvin Schwartz. I trusted him. Anyway, across the street, I saw, there was another bungalow. We were working in a bungalow, and on the top of the bungalow it said Grant Art. I said, what does that mean? What the hell is Grant Art? He said, well, that's Cary Grant's company. Grant Art. I said, well, does Cary Grant ever come to that bungalow? He said, yeah, sure. I said, sure. You're kidding. He said, no, he'll be here in about 10 minutes. He comes every day for lunch. He'll be here about 10 to 12. He shows up. It's about 11:45. He'll be here. I said, Cary Grant, I'm going to see him in person. Yes, Cary Grant will be here. So I waited by the drapes. And sure enough, a guy in a double-breasted suit with a little yellow boutonniere walks down. He leaves this guy, jumps up the steps 2 at a time, bounds through the door. I said, it looked like Cary Grant. He said, it was Cary Grant. I said, holy mackerel, Cary Grant. He's about 60 yards away from me. Cary Grant. I grew up in Brooklyn. Cary Grant. Oh, my God, I think I'm going to faint. He said, hey, we see him every day. I said, but I don't. My, Cary Grant. Cary Grant. So anyway, I waited. He said, we'll be coming out to lunch. And I said, he's coming out to lunch and we're going to see him. See, there, about 10 minutes later, he bounced down the steps. I said, oh, my God, it's Cary Grant. It's Cary Grant. So he said, come on, let's go to lunch. So we walked down the path, and I somehow take another road, and I hear behind me, Mayor Brooks. I turn around, it's Cary Grant. I bought every single one of your albums. You've made me poor, blah. I said, oh, my God, he's talking to me. Cary Grant is actually talking to me. I said, Marvin, what should I do? He said, talk back to him. But all right. I said, hello, Cary Grant. I called him by one name, Cary Grant.
Cary Grant.
I figured that was his name.
Cary Grant.
I didn't know him well enough to call him Mr. Grant or Cary. I called him Cary Grant. I said, hiya, Cary Grant. You look good, Cary Grant. Are you really Cary Grant? And he said, come on, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm going into the lunchroom there. He said, oh, the commissary. Yeah, come with me, Bart. I'll buy you lunch. Oh, my God, Cary Grant is going to buy me lunch. Oh, so I went in, and I sat next to him, and he had a hard-boiled egg. That's all he had. I don't know why. And I had a tuna fish sandwich on whole wheat with a slice of tomato. No mayo, hold the mayo. And I ate the sandwich, and then we left together, and he said, walking down the path, he said, what's your favorite color? I said, blue. He said, yellow. I said, yellow is yours, blue is mine. What's your favorite car? I said, a Buick. He said, a Rolls Royce. I said, that's nice. And we talked like that, you know. Me saying Buick, he saying Rolls Royce. It was a very interesting conversation. He went to Grant Art, I went to Schwartz. I thought that was it. The next day, about 11:45, we get a call. Is Mel Brooks there? Yes. It's Cary Grant. Would you like to go to lunch? Sure, Cary. All right. Holy mackerel, Cary Grant. All right, I comb my hair. I brush my teeth with my finger. Very nervous. Cary Grant, we go in again. He has a hard-boiled egg. All right, I don't say nothing. I have a corned beef sandwich with mustard on rye. Okay, one of the few out there that ate it that way. The rest had it with mayonnaise on white. So he says, what do you like to play? I said, well, I like to play football. I like to play baseball. He said, well, I like to play party games. Oh, that's interesting. Like Ghost. What is Ghost? You dress up? No, G, you get a G. H, you get an H, Ghost. Oh, fine. And we talked. Okay, interesting. He goes to Grant Art, I go to Schwartz. I'm back home. The next day at 11:45, ring, it's Cary. All right, I meet him outside. We're going to lunch together. Me and Cary Grant, Mel Brooks and Cary Grant, we're holding hands. We don't know what to do for each other. We don't know what to say to each other. Anyway, let me tell you the punchline. Comes Friday, the phone rings, it's Cary Grant. I said, I'm not in.
Enough already.
We didn't know what to say. I had nothing more to say to him. I said my favorite color. I said my favorite car.
I'm not in.
I mean, there was nothing more to talk about.
We'll be back.
We'd exhausted our